What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. And today we're at the NASA Space Center in H-Town, Texas. Let's go! Welcome into the Houston Space Center here. It is $29 for a ticket for an adult and $24.99 for a ticket for your kids. The Lyndon Johnson Space Center, which is also part of the facility, which is close by, we will go to later. You take the tram to get there, and the tram will take you there, and it's all part of the tour, part of your price, and you'll get to see the big missiles and everything we'll get to see in a little bit. But just taking a little tour around. I love to look at the astronauts' uniforms. I think it's really cool. Okay, folks, check this out. This is an RS-25 liquid fuel rocket engine. NASA used this for 30 years to boost the space shuttle into orbit. This thing's amazing just to look at. Check it out. Now this is what I call Let's Explore right here. They got a friggin' workout bike in there. Man, how cool is that? This place is pretty awesome. You can spend all day here and just kind of enjoy everything.
Nutrition status assessment focuses on the effects diet has on bone health, chemical and hormone changes, and oxidative damage in space. Urine and blood samples are collected before, during, and after spaceflight for biochemical analysis to determine the effectiveness of both nutrition and pharmaceuticals that are being tested for maintaining astronaut health on the space station. Nutrition research is necessary for establishing proper food and vitamin diets for long-duration space missions as we explore destinations beyond low Earth orbit. Although the intended goal of the HRS research is to understand how the human body reacts to long-duration spaceflight, the added benefit from much of this research is that it helps us to better understand heart disease, muscle degeneration, and osteoporosis, ailments suffered by millions of people on Earth today.
In other words, have your diet prepared when you go into space. Don't go in all bloated and eating crap like I usually do. Wow. This place is really cool though. It's like there's one big giant building here, and there's several rooms in it where you get to see everything. And then I'll catch the tram in a minute. And there's a couple other buildings. Look at that suit. Wow. I'm ready to go to Mars. All I need right there, me and my laptop. Me and my laptop. Every room you walk in, you sort of feel like you're in a different dimension. Every little exhibit here, you kind of feel like you're in a different dimension. Stuff's crazy. And what I love about it too with space is a lot of these things seem so futuristic, and then you see things that are like old school futuristic, which is kind of like, that looks like it's from the 60s, but it also looks like it can be from 2160. We'll say this being the first space center I've ever been to, it's definitely making me interested in going to Kennedy in Florida, and then maybe going down to Huntsville. So there's your spot right there. Purchase tram tickets. It's a 10-minute wait, so getting ready to hop on the tram soon. Here we go. USA, USA, on the moon, and now onto the tram.
We are now departing space. This is one of the NASA fields, and it's in our heart. To go past up here, you will see some of our Texas Longhorns racing in the pasture. This land is donated by JSC to local school districts and various partners to develop what is now known as the Longhorn Project. As we're approaching Rocket Park, we do ask that you remain. Now this first one here on the yellow platform, this is known as Little Joe 2. Now Little Joe 2 here was used to test the launch escape system for the Apollo mission. The launch escape system coming out large white tower there at the top. Now, the way that system would work is those boosters, the yellow boosters there at the bottom of that tall tower, would boost up in case of a wreckage or emergency. They would get the command module containing the astronauts about a mile or so away from the wreckage or rocket, get them a mile or so away for safety purposes. Now, thankfully, the launch escape system never had to be utilized on any Apollo mission. Now, if you'll look over here on the platform, this black and white rocket here is the Mercury Redstone. The Mercury Redstone marked a pivotal point in NASA history. It put the first American astronaut into space. The Mercury Redstone brought Alan Shepard into a suborbital flight for approximately 15 minutes. Now, this suborbital flight marked the way for the human spaceflight program to begin. You're going to take note of these large F1 engines on the back. Now, you may have seen one out there by the Mercury Redstone. There are 5 of them on the Saturn V rocket. Each of them is 19 feet tall and 12 feet in diameter. Now, in comparison to the Saturn V itself, the Saturn V is about 33 feet in diameter. If you guys want to keep on moving down this way, rocket. Alright, so these engines on the first stage here burn for approximately 2 minutes and 48 seconds once launched off the pad. Now, after these 2 minutes and 48 seconds, this first stage would drop off, otherwise known as jettison, and it would drop into the Atlantic Ocean to never be recovered. This first stage here brought the whole stack to an altitude of just 42 miles. Now, the entire Saturn V rocket is approximately 363 feet tall. It also weighed 6.5 million pounds. This made it the tallest and heaviest rocket ever flown. It was also the most powerful rocket ever successful. Powerful, only had the power of 4 of those F1 engines you see on the back. So after that first stage is jettisoned, we move on to this second stage here. Now the second stage would move the rest of the craft up to an elevation of 115 miles. This is about halfway to Earth's orbit. Now you may notice this one also has 5 engines on the back. However, these are much smaller than the F1s on the back of the first stage. These are the J2 engines and they burn for approximately 6 minutes. Now this second into the ocean. This is known as a splashdown. At this point, the U.S. Navy would retrieve the command module. And so long as all of the astronauts returned safely, the mission was deemed a success. Now at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you get your final pictures and we're going to head on back to...
So we enjoyed that tour. Now, after seeing all the shuttles and everything, we're back into space again, if you will. Well, kind of, sort of back into space. I feel like I'm in space, looking at all the stars in the sky. Gotta love the stars. Now we've made it to Independence Plaza, and we're going to see a 747-123 Boeing American Airlines plane bought by NASA specifically to transport the space shuttle. And of course, we're going to see the shuttle itself. We're getting ready to go in. Now, the 747 plane was completely stripped down. All seats and everything were taken out except for a few first-class seats. And the inside was also reinforced to support the Space Shuttle Independence, which you are looking at right now, up close and in personal. And now we're walking in. So that's the actual inside. Those were the people look like the pilots on the actual plane and everything. So you could kind of get a view of what this thing was like. So, and goes your cockpit area and everything. The really cool thing about this exhibit is you are in the actual plane. Sometimes when you're in here and you see the exhibit and everything, you don't really think that, hey, I'm in the actual plane. But this is the actual plane that carried the shuttle, as everything was stripped down before it was redone. So it's pretty amazing. You know, it's a big old plane. You got a couple floors here you're looking now, and it's letting me know right now I'm in the actual cargo area. At least that's what a cargo was. And from the outside, I can see the plane. I can see from the shuttle, I should say, and I can look down into the actual plane because now I'm in the shuttle. And you see them back to back right there. It's a really cool exhibit. And you feel like you're on an actual plane right there. You see the seats and everything. Where the windows, you don't see the seats. And those are the first class seats that are still here. As I mentioned, they stripped all the seats except a few first class seats. So you could always kind of look at those first class seats and kind of get an idea of what this thing looked like beforehand. So if that kind of helps you a little bit, kind of gives you an idea. And there goes a little demonstration. That's what the plane actually looked like with the American Airlines symbol and everything on it, I guess, when they first bought it.
His imagination solved the thorny problem of returning the shuttle to its home base. His name was John Kuiper.
John Kuiper was so very instrumental in the space shuttle program because he was the one that came up with the idea of placing the space shuttle orbiter on top of a 747, a Boeing 747, to move it across the country, to get it from California back to Cape Canaveral for the next launch.
When John
You have to love that image right there. And there's a statue of American Neil Armstrong, who along with Buzz Aldrin became one of the first 2 people on the moon, and that happened, walked the moon on July 20th, 1969, just over 50 years ago. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be able to freely walk the moon. Wouldn't that be great? But all in all, what a great day. That's it, folks. I hope you all liked and enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, and I thank you all for joining us and helping this community to grow. And as always, remember, live today, grow today, tomorrow's never guaranteed. Peace!